The Grand Finals of Worlds 2024 is this weekend, and it could not have been any more hype than the BLG T1 Finals. Their head-to-head record is 10-9 in the favor of BLG, with BLG winning every single MSI match and T1 winning everything else. So in the Grand Finals, the whole world is watching if BLG can rewrite history or if T1 will continue to win back-to-back world titles. In this video, let's examine the differing teamfight strategies that BLG and T1 used to get to the Grand Finals. BLG likes to apply slow, yet suffocating pressure on their opponents. They like to flank or fan, which leads to overwhelming positional advantages. On the other hand, T1 plays fast, loose, and reckless. Their playstyle is full of disrespect, and they violate their opponent's dignity. They play a big game, and they do not miss. So in this video, let's take a look at how these strategies work, and time will tell which teamfighting philosophy secures their team the World Championship. We begin our analysis with a dragon fight in the quarterfinals between BLG and Hanwha Life. Doran starts by TPing to group with his team, but immediately, we see BLG in a fan formation, surrounding the clumped Hanwha Life members. Hanwha Life are very stubborn, and all 5 of them walk towards Dragon, unaware of the BLG members that are surrounding them from multiple angles. Doran tries to jump on Bin, but Bin just hops to safety. Now, Hanwha Life have voluntarily trapped 4 of their members in the river, and Elk punishes Hanwha Life with an Ashe ult that will surely hit one of them, and Zeka panic ults in a straight line only to be stunned by it. And the fight is decided by this one pick. All along, BLG were patient and shepherded Hanwha Life into the river to maximize the chances of a deadly arrow and multiple flank angles. At the very next dragon fight, once again, BLG are more than happy to concede river prio to Hanwha Life, so they can set up their fan formation. But this time, Hanwha Life changes their strategy, and they decide to fan out as well. So, we get a familiar line of scrimmage at Dragon, with both teams in fan formation. The fight starts with Delight catching out Bin, and the rest of Hanwha Life look to focus him down. Hanwha Life dump everything, Nocturne ult, Zeri ult, Rel ult, and Jax ult to try to kill Bin. But by a miracle of God, just as Bin is hopping to safety, On flashes towards him so that his mini Gnar E gets an extra jump, and this saves Bin's life. On charms 3 Hanwha Life members before Wing to safety with Bin, and now all of Hanwha Life's ult are down, and they are clumped once again. So positionally speaking, this fight is essentially won for BLG. Hanwha Life desperately force their way to Dragon, but once again, BLG are patient. They retreat, with Knight still on a flank angle to maintain their positional advantage. Doran also gets very antsy, but BLG back off and play patiently. This delicate balance of pressure from multiple angles is BLG's signature strategy. And it is so easy to get caught, except for BLG. When Delight and Viper are focusing Knight, Shun and Elk reply by focusing Doran. And when Hanwha Life carries look to save Doran, Knight dials up the flank pressure on Delight. Doran gets critically low and uses Zhonya's, but notice how Knight is pressuring Hanwha Life even harder now. But this is just the right amount, since Hanwha Life really want to save Doran, and they know they can't focus Knight, because he can escape with stolen Ahri ult. BLG are one step closer to checkmating Hanwha Life. Knight gets a Silas Q onto Viper, and Peanut is focusing him with Nocturne E. But this is the perfect aggro juggle from Knight, not only because he gets away, but also because pulling attention leaves Doran alone to die. Knight dashes away with stolen Ahri ult, and he gets an easy kill on a fleeing Doran. But Knight is not done yet, and he is still exerting flank pressure by walking ahead of the retreating Hanwha Life carries. This scatters all Hanwha Life members and they crumble one by one. In this clip, BLG are fighting a 4v5 with Knight dead, but BLG doesn't let Hanwha Life get an easy Baron. In fact, BLG puts so much pressure on Hanwha Life that BLG comes out on top in this 4v5. BLG start their Baron defense with Bin teleporting for a flank setup. Notice immediately that none of BLG's members are clumped. They're creating a fan formation to attack Hanwha Life. Bin makes contact with 4 members of Hanwha Life, daring them to focus him so On can fly in with a counter Rakan ult, and Shun can save Bin with a Kindred ult. But Hanwha Life also puts pressure on BLG, with Doran flanking on Gnar, just as he is about to turn Mega. Bin uses Zhonya's to not get charmed by Zeka's stolen Rakan ult, but as soon as he gets out of stasis, he is focused down. But this buys time for Knight to TP in and join the fight, and Hanwha Life find themselves taking massive damage from Baron and Shun's Kindred. So despite being a 4v5 once again, it is actually BLG who are the aggressors here. Hanwha Life are chased off of Baron, but once it reaches to full, BLG immediately turn their attention mid, daring Hanwha Life to start it again to take more damage from Baron. Dorn recalls and TPs, and once again, Hanwha Life find themselves pressured to do Baron even while they're up in a 5v4, while BLG lurk in a fan formation. BLG shows why a fan formation is so powerful, with On jumping in alone to soak aggro while the rest of his team can deal damage from afar. This gives Delight absolutely no opportunities for a multi-man Rel ult, and he even dies without using Flash or Rel ult. On then falls while buying time for his 280 carries, so Knight jumps in with Gallia ult, and he knows that it is his turn to make space for Kindred and Kai'Sa. BLG show why they are the teamfight kings in the LPL, with everyone knowing their role in a teamfight to maximize teamfight value. Elk is the last one to fall while pumping out damage until his dying breath for a trade kill on Zeka. Here's another 4v5 fight at Baron, where BLG are lurking. Weibo sees that Bin is splitting bot, so they feel pressure to force his TP. But BLG thrive when they can force their opponents into uncomfortable positions like this, and as we shall see, they don't even need Bin to win this fight. On is spotted poking from above, and Xiaohu is already pissed at BLG's lurking strategy, and he all-ins and uses Yone ult. But this only gets On's flash. Once the pick attempt is over, BLG once again get into fan formation, and dare Weibo to start Baron. They maintain their distance in fan formation, while poking Weibo with Smolder and Lethality Varus. As Baron gets low, Shun makes solo contact with Weibo's tanks, and it is standard for one member to make solo contact to increase the pressure during a fan formation. This is followed by massive poke from Elk and Knight. Breathe responds with Poppy ult that knocks away Shun, but hilariously, it repositions him for a deadlier flank. Weibo then secure Baron, but at what cost? BLG are still in their fan formation, and 3 Weibo members are trapped in the pit, while the other 2 are critically low. All the while Bin is on Weibo's inhibitor. This flank formation is essentially a firing squad, and BLG take turns throwing poke at Weibo. Xiaohu walks forward and accepts his fate, while Tarzan flashes out with 1 HP, and Light is CC'd by Skarner ult. But this Baron squeeze wasn't even the craziest part. The craziest part is that BLG are able to end the game just off of these 2 kills, and this is exactly how Game 1 of the semifinals ended. In this clip from Game 2, Weibo forced Knight to retreat with TP and Shun to burn his flash. So naturally, Weibo start Baron, but once again, they are grouped and are super vulnerable to BLG's positional advantages. This time, instead of a fan formation, BLG are closing in on Weibo with a 4-point flank. Look how inefficient Breathe's Maokai ult is. BLG are spread apart, and it is only directed towards Skarner. Meanwhile, Elk is giving Weibo Ziggs backshots. Baron gets very low, forcing On to engage with Flash Rel ult, and Light flashes to safety, at least he thinks, because Knight is over the wall ready to murder him. Meanwhile, Bin is flanking Xiaohu, so in the big picture, it is still a 4-point flank for BLG. Tarzan secures Baron, but Maokai ult was wasted previously, and Renata ult only hits Bin since once again, everyone in BLG is so far apart. The lack of AoE value from these ults is huge, and honestly, I think BLG could have aced Weibo if Knight played better and didn't save ult for Crisp. Nonetheless, these clips illustrate BLG's core strategy. Their path to the Summoner's Cup is through amazing teamfight setups that lead to positional advantages. BLG are playing chess, and they know how to deliver checkmate. As opposed to BLG's calculated play, T1 plays with fast and loose aggression. T1 are most famous for the deadly Baron plays, choking you out of vision and leaving you with no choice but to check Baron and die. In this match between T1 and Top Esports, both Baron and Dragon are up, but instead of agreeing to a Dragon fight, T1 tests Top Esports' mettle by daring Top Esports to fight in a T1 arena, which is around Baron. Owner and Guma are spotted doing Baron, and Top Esports falls for the bait that has haunted every team that has ever played against T1. They spot Owner and Guma getting off of Baron, but by now, it's too late. Faker flies in from below to charm Mako, and this pick leads to another Baron attempt from T1. T1 sets up a Baron again, and Top Esports catches a glimpse of Keria on the side. And then he falls back into the river with a Rakan W. But this lures Top Esports where he wants him, and all at once, T1 pull off of Baron, and Keria strikes with a 4-man Rakan ult. The rest of T1 clean up the teamfight without losing a single man. 2 times in this clip, T1's Baron bait led to kills, and finishing Baron was not on T1's mind at all. They are simply the best team in the world at ruining their opponents just at the thought of Baron. And the exact same play happens in Game 3. Guma clears the last piece of vision around Baron for Top Esports, and suddenly, Top Esports are full of anxiety. What are T1 doing? Are they waiting to make a pick again? Or are they actually about to finish Baron? We know that T1 are completely off Baron, but Top Esports don't have the slightest clue. Once again, Mako gets a bit too close to the bush, and he is assaulted by T1 and falls immediately. Owner falls as well, but a return kill onto Cream gives T1 a 2-for-1 trade. This fight is rather messy, but Guma takes matters into his own hands and kills Jaculov for a teamfight win. A few minutes later, T1 repeats the same Baron dance. Guma is sent to clear mid-wave, and then all of T1 dip into Baron fog, where Top Esports have almost no vision, except for vision from the Scuttle Crab. Their blue trinket then grants vision of 4 T1 members with Baron at 2/3 HP, so they finally know they're safe to walk in. But it's already too late. When Top Esports gets close to Baron, Owner knocks them away with Poppy ult, and T1 leaves with a 3 Baron. 6 minutes later when Baron spawns again, Top Esports play with too much caution once again, and they let T1 get another free Baron. And in the semifinals between T1 and GENG, T1 broke GENG's mental with his Baron play in Game 1. GENG are getting deep vision on T1's red side jungle to prepare for Dragon, and Guma's hawkshot spots this. Immediately, we see T1 spam ping Baron, calling to rush it down, instead of agreeing to take the safe and boring teamfight at Dragon. As we see T1 rush down Baron, Canyon and Paze are taking their time hitting Dragon. The Ziggs bomb gets vision of T1 doing Baron, but by now, it's too late. Canyon secures Dragon just as T1 secures Baron, and this headless play from GENG cost them Baron, 3 kills, and their mental for the whole series. We end our analysis with a Baron play between T1 and BLG earlier in the tournament. Once again, T1 capitalized on a pick onto Bin by forcing a fight at Baron. Since all their attention was at Dragon earlier, BLG has absolutely no vision of Baron and T1's flankers. And when Guma makes eye contact with Wei, T1 knows it's time to go. Keria and Faker prepare to flank BLG, and Faker burns Elk's flash, only to serve as a layup to Keria's Nico ult slam dunk. Like clockwork, the other 3 members get off of Baron immediately, and Owner follows up with a flash Vi Q onto Elk. This Baron play doesn't even lead to a Baron for T1. With these 2 kills, they go for the throat and end the game. That's how the first game between T1 and BLG unfolded this tournament, and we shall see how the rest of them turn out. BLG and T1 strategies are polar opposites, but this is perfect since they can play to the different strengths and see who is better at their own craft. In the Grand Finals, we shall see if BLG are able to maintain their excellent teamfight positioning, or if T1's vision denial playstyle and forceful plays around Baron will throw BLG off. Who do you think will win the World Championship, and with what scoreline? Let me know in the comments. If you like analytical content like this, please hit the like and subscribe button for more. I also have a Discord server where you can chat with me and other analytical viewers. The link is in the description below. Take care and enjoy the Grand Finals.